wounded.
Well, basically what the judge said was that the prosecution did not prove beyond a reasonable doubt the charges in the indictment against the 3 police officers. Let's have that federal trial. Let's have a jury, because remember, under the federal system, as I said earlier, you cannot waive a jury. Let's have a jury decide the guilt or innocence of any criminal civil rights violations that occurred here.
And the scenario that was described in those early morning hours of what would have been Sean Bell's wedding day, of Sean and his 2 friends coming out of his bachelor party, coming out of the club, going to the car, and then explain what they described seeing the undercover cop.
Well, they both testified, particularly Joe Guzman, who was sitting in the front seat, that they saw a man in a civilian clothes with a gun. We today are meeting with Congressman Conyers, who chairs the House Judiciary Committee, and Congressman Conyers is going to go to the site of where this happened, the Kahlua Club, and walk the 2.5 blocks to the location where this occurred to demonstrate clearly that this police officer who took his gun out on the sidewalk and approached the car with his gun out in plain clothes had plenty of options when he was walking those 2.5 blocks following these victims to their car after they had peacefully left a conversation with some people on the street, which may have been confrontational or not. Doesn't matter. That was over. And 2.5 blocks later, this police officer, this police detective in plain clothes, takes his gun out when he's on the sidewalk and approaches the car with his gun drawn.
Can I also just add on to that, because I think it's very important to highlight that the response that the judge had about how he came down with his decision was not only very eyebrow-raising, definitely it should be, because it shows that there is a sense of some sort of race issues. There's also some class issues about where the location was, that maybe that was something to be thinking about, and also bringing up the witnesses' rap sheets. I mean, this shows that the city is not willing to defend people of color, nor people who are shot down by 50 bullets by police officers, regardless if they're a color or not. We know about the blue wall of silence that exists within the NYPD, and to think that this continues to happen and judges in this city are not willing to prosecute shows that there is not only a level there's a serious division within the city. We're getting priced out continuously. Poor people are being pushed out through many means, and one of them is being killed by the NYPD, and feeling as if we're constantly being under some sort of oppressive iron fist, and this isn't right.
Let me add something to that also. Reverend Sharpton pointed out that in the judge's decision, the judge talked about factors that influence his decision. One was the criminal record. And Joe Guzman, who had a criminal record, and said on the witness stand, my criminal record wasn't on my forehead the night that happened. The police officer didn't even know. But that shouldn't matter. When you charge a jury in a criminal case, a criminal record of what happened in the past shouldn't matter in this case and should not really be considered. In addition, there was a comment about the demeanor of the witness. Demeanor of witnesses, that is something that is, in this case, the demeanor of Joe Guzman. Does that mean that if someone has an attitude, the police, and I'm not saying that he even had an attitude, but if someone's attitude results in being shot 16 times, he was shot 16 times, 4 bullets were made in his body, he was shot 6 times in his back as he was trying to crawl out of this car.
Well, I want to thank you both. We will certainly continue to follow the story. The chair of the House Judiciary Committee, John Conyers, is going to take this walk. Is it this morning, Sanford Rubinstein?
This afternoon at 1:30.
At 1:30. Sanford Rubinstein, thanks for joining us. Lawyer for Nicole Paultre-Bell. She has legally changed her name to include Sean Bell's name. She was to have been married to him later in the day that he was killed by New York police. And Jessica Sanclemente, thanks for being with us, co-coordinator of People's Justice in New York City. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. We'll be back in a minute.
Sean Bell, what a terrible day. Sean Bell. Yeah, it's so hard to say. Sean Bell, what a terrible night. So tell me, Sean, would they have shot you? Shot you if you Sean Bell, they took your life. It broke my heart to see those pictures of your children and your wife. Go ahead and cry. What is the proof? Go ahead and cry. Yeah, well, the bullets tell the truth. Sean Bell, yeah, we can't pretend. Sean Bell, when will this madness end? Sean Bell, what are we to do? Just wring our hands and pretend that it's not true. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. Terrible night. Sean Bell. And so the story runs.